Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
What's up, everybody? Happy Monday afternoon or evening, depending on what part of the world you're watching. It is Monday, October 2nd, 2023. Some of you, it's already the 3rd. That's okay. Welcome to Meacham's Musings / Talk Wrestling. It's really the Jeff Meacham Show because we're going to talk about a bunch of shit today. So welcome one and all to the craziness that is the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, as well as NoDQ.com. We're on NoDQ tonight at the granting the request of one Mr. Riff, so thank you very much. Always good to be here on a Monday. Yes, I am sober today, unlike Saturday night. We'll get to that later, Walter, I promise you. Hello, Multiverse. Mohammed, happy Monday on a Monday. Jeff, hope you're doing well. Doing very well. Very well, sir. Mr. Tom says, I used to watch Mr. Meacham 15 or so years ago. Great to see him doing wow. Well, let me go get my Ovaltine and my cookie. Thank you for that moment of aging me, Mr. Tom. Much appreciated to you, sir. Let's see what else we got here. Happy birthday, Walter's mom. Good to see that. Happy birthday to Mama Cruz. Mama Reliable. There we go. Let's see. JJ is here, of course. And yes, Matt, on this day, I do see clearly. We're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about all of that. All of it and then some. No, I know you did, Tom. I give everybody shit when they come in and talk about my age. It's a thing now because I've been around so damn long. The Cleaver's here. My goodness. Good to see Colin Andrew. I will see you tomorrow during the ODQ review, sir. Again, lots to talk about. But let me just say right off the bat, as I have tried to do very often here in the last little while here across the multiverse, whenever I'm on ODQ or Greg's show or any of JJ's presentations. Thank you. I am again grateful. And yes, please save the comments for what happened the last few days for tomorrow, because we want to have a big review tomorrow. I want to have a big open mic night on Saturday. So much good came out of this weekend. Not just in wrestling, not just in the podcasting world or the live streaming world, I guess we can call it now, because I really don't do podcast anymore, right? So thank you one and all for everybody that was part of that, be it the folks at the Halloween convention, be it here on the Multiverse of Media doing the watch-alongs and open mic night, be it my family, be it my close friends. Every single person I had the fortune of interacting with this weekend in one capacity or another just provided the good. And I it was funny. I left work. God, when did I work last? I forget what day it was. I worked last week. It was my last shift for a few days. And oh god, don't be started on Sting. Jesus, Sting started wrestling. Actually, you know what? Sting and Billy Gunn have the same presidential thing because it's Reagan. So it's not worse. It's still bonkers. Yeah, Sting started wrestling during the Reagan presidency. So there you go. Anyway, I was walking off. I was walking actually onto stage. I was backstage, behind the restaurants and behind the facades on Main Street, and it's a tough day, just a rough physical day in the kitchens. Colin, I'm sure, can relate. You know, having the restaurant, just some days you're just a physical muckerfuther, right? And I was literally dragging my ass behind me. It felt like I was just almost like dragging myself toward the big double doors that go out onto Main Street from behind the Firehouse and the Emporium there. And I, in my phone, as we're not supposed to do, you're not supposed to be looking down your phone. You're not supposed to text and walk or work and walk, right? And violating all the company rules, as I do. And I look up, and they're test driving the vehicles for the Christmas Fantasy Parade, right in front of me. And I'm like, oh my God. So I went from having a horrible day on the physical front, and a little challenging emotionally, mentally, if I'm going to be honest. And I didn't stop smiling from the moment I saw. And again, no Christmas music, no characters, just the floats themselves being test driven to make sure they were still working after being in the back for 10 months, right? And it's like, it's almost Christmas. It's almost Christmas here at the House of Mouse. And from the moment I saw those floats, I didn't stop smiling until I hit the bed and went to sleep it was Friday because I went to the convention the next day. I didn't stop smiling until I went to bed for the convention, and then I pretty much smiled all weekend. If we're being honest, I've been so giddy, and it's hard for me to realize that I've been that giddy. Mr. Tito, always good to see you come into my chat room. I know you're on the NoDQ side, so thank you for coming in. Appreciate that. And JJ, I have to acknowledge, JJ, this man carried the load for the Jeff Meacham Multiverse Media this weekend. Yes, we had Noah Foster doing his amazing commentary. Yes, there was a plethora of panelists on open mic nights. Yes, the in-ring action on both No Mercy and Wrestle Dream was up to par. But this man, JJ Williams, the Renegade, got the Multiverse of Media through by running the rooms, running the booths, doing the things. So if I don't have a chance to thank him and smooch the booty, if you will, now, but anytime after now, thank you, JJ. I owe you so big, because him being at the helm allowed me to have the weekend I had without having to worry about producing. So thank you, sir. I'm not sure which elephant you're talking about, other than my enormous size. I look like Clifford the Big Red Dog in this shirt. So we will address everything I have remembered to address, Zero. So stand by, sir. Yes, Christmas is coming, and I'm so excited. But let's talk about what we did first. On Saturday, Big G's here, so good to see Big G in the room. So Saturday was day one of the 45th anniversary convention for the Halloween movie franchise, of course, started by the notorious, the legendary John Carpenter himself back in 1978. So 45 years that they've been at this. I got to meet people I hadn't met before. I got to see people I hadn't seen in a while. Got to see old friends. Very, very cool to interact with people I got to interact with. And communicate with those that weren't able to be there for reasons, whatever they may have been, including young lady by the name of Christina Klebe. If you're not familiar with who she is, she actually was in Rob Zombie's Halloween movies, and she was she played the role of Linda in the first one, and there was a picture of her using the second one, obviously, because she was what do you call it? She was killed in the first one. So anyway, she was supposed to have been there at the convention. She got the word literally last minute that she was getting the go-ahead to begin production on her directorial debut as director. So she was unable to attend the convention, but I cannot stress enough to head over to Indiegogo. There's a link there at the bottom. Support her feature film, NYX, with her significant other, and so many more people involved in the movie. Contribute what you can. Get the movie off the ground. And we will bring her into the multiverse at some point. We're going to interview her and talk about the movie and talk about her experience of the accident she suffered a year ago that really formulated and created this path that she's been on that got to this movie being made. So she will be part of the multiverse here, hopefully soon. We're working on it very hard. But in the meantime, the people that did get to attend, again, I was so honored to meet the people I got to meet. First on Saturday, I got to meet the legendary Malcolm McDowell, who, even if you're not a Halloween fan, if you're a fan of movie and media and all the things, Malcolm McDowell is a next level legend. He's done everything there is to do. Clockwork Orange. He was part of Star Trek in a movie. He's just done so many amazing things in the industry. And yes, I did throw on the Star Trek pip. I did do the thing. I did do the dorky thing. I totally geeked out, and he acknowledged it like a champ. It was so fun. And I also met Nancy Loomis, who was Annie Brackett in the first, the original Halloween movie. She played Annie's corpse in the sequel because she'd been killed. And she also was Tom Atkins' wife in the third, the dreaded movie that's not a Halloween movie, Season of the Witch. So it was very, very cool to meet Nancy. It was so neat to get to see these people. I don't think Nancy had done a convention in a while, and if she had, it had been a long while. Malcolm, I knew, hadn't done a whole lot of the Halloween convention, so it was very cool knowing he was going to be there. I was like, all right, I'm going to totally, put the money down to get those two. And yes, these are professional photos. That's why they have the background, because I'm all posing. Yes, Walter, I did. Totally threw on the work shirt. Totally got the word out there. Made sure I wore that all Saturday, the entire day Saturday. I wore this for part of Sunday, but I was really trying to not focus so much on the work part of it Sunday, because Saturday, between the convention and then going to see the concert I saw afterwards, I was in full Jeff Meacham Multiverse Media mode. So it was just crazy. But I have to thank them again. So thank you, Mr. McDowell. Thank you, Ms. Loomis. And I also have to acknowledge my buddy Danielle Harris, who I always enjoy getting to see whenever I get the chance to run into hers. It's so cool to see her. Like I said, I wish Scout would have been able to come. Scout Compton, who played the pivotal character of Laurie Strode in Rob Zombie's interpretations. But she also got a gig that was SAG approved. So there was that. Yes, JJ, you are 100% correct. Let me take the picture down. Although Danielle was great. By the way, I had to throw this up because the second day we were trying to take a picture, and the guy that was with her, like she said, I forget what she said now. It's not important what she said, but she cracked me up as she does. So Instagram versus reality. There you go. I have one of those for myself now. So there you go. I love that lady to pieces. She's such an awesome person. Love Danielle. Always good to see her. She will also, too, be coming into the Multiverse of Media, hopefully when this strike bullshit's all over. JJ said, I'm 99% positive Nancy Loomis is where the character of Billy Loomis got his last name from. That is 100% true. That's also where Dr. Loomis got his name from in the original movie, because Nancy was, if I remember the story right, we kind of briefly glazed over it during the panel I'm going to talk about later. She was seeing Tommy Lee Wallace, who was part of the production team on the first two movies, and then he directed the third one, I believe. So yeah, all the Loomis name passing around throughout the first, the franchise, because her last name permeated throughout the entirety, because Dr. Loomis was such a pivotal character in the story of Michael Myers. So there you go. So then from there, so the original plan on Saturday was to leave at right around 3. It doesn't seem like a whole lot of time, but I got so much cool stuff done to head home, because when I arrived home, my friends in We Are Wasted, a local Santa Clarita band, as well as Frankie Zarian, the band he's part of, Gutter Candy, were both going to be in the hometown. I couldn't believe how awesome it was. Let me see if I can get my head out. Hi, there we go. Knowing that Frankie was going to be, actually, let's put me over here with Frankie. Let's do this. There we go. Hi. Knowing that I've known Frankie 20 years next year, right? And knowing that he was going to be in my hometown performing. Yes, he's wrestled. I think he wrestled at New Hall a couple times when they ran the Legion Hall for different promotions. But seeing him bring his passion project to Santa Clarita, and I found out later that the band, the members of We Are Wasted, actually have a connection to Lucky Luke Brewing in Santa Clarita, which is why the show was there. But I talked to my dad about that. Hey, Frankie's coming up, and he had heard about Frankie over the years, and got to meet him on the Jericho Cruise back in 2021, and it was wonderful. And he was looking forward to. He's like, what, fuck it, I'll meet you there. Why not? So he ended up meeting me off the second bus, and we drove over to the venue together. Kind of a little hidden hole in the wall there if you don't know where you're going. Over there in Valencia, but cool little, literally a hole in the wall type place. It's actually, they brew their own craft beer. Very good beer, by the way. Amazing. You guys saw how my dad and I both were after the show. If you watch over Mike Night, if you didn't, go back and watch that. So much fun. But it was an amazing night. I saw I would have been my 11th grade English teacher, American literature teacher, and his wife were there. He teaches at Saugus now, I guess. So it was cool that he's still here after all these years. Apparently, he taught some of the boys in We Are Wasted too. They were all interacting together. It was just so weird. My friends Josh and Catherine came in. Josh's mom still lives here, and our mutual friend Michael, who was in their wedding, and I think they were in his wedding too. It's crazy. Anyway, so much positive around me that I got to witness. And yes, JJ, I can back up your statement. Jeff was up. Absolutely. No doubt about it. But in the process of getting up, you get cool stuff like this. My dad and I both posing with the newly crowned We Are Wasted, I forget, the chug champion, Frankie Kazarian, who beat one of the members of We Are Wasted in a chugging contest prior to our arrival because my bus was so late, because a Ralph's grocery truck broke down in the middle of the I-5 and caused a 30-minute delay. So thank you, Ralph's Grocery. We appreciate you guys, having your truck break down. I'm going to boycott you bums. I'm kidding. I love Ralph's. I'm just mad at that truck. But anyway, we will get to that comment momentarily. I will definitely start though. Nine Nader. I agree, for the record, but we will get to it. So yeah, it was always cool to see Frankie Kazarian. We figured out that other than Lizzie Valentine, he's my longest standing friend in the industry. It'll be 20 years next year, which is just crazy that he and I have remained in contact for that long. It was so cool. Then we got to let me talk about partial Saturday, partial Sunday here, because the gentleman in the picture with me on the left is Braden Timmons, who, if you guys remember, during 2021, he was behind the fan project that had the Field Nightmare. They are currently in pre-production for The Last Nightmare, and so he was there celebrating the franchise that we both love so much. And so finally got to meet him in person. We've been interacting for the better part of 3 years, so it was cool to finally get to meet him in person. He was at the convention with his sister. He and his lady went to Horror Nights after the fact, after the convention. And yes, great, good, so good. A proper, with all due respect to the people I met this weekend, a proper follow-up to H2O. So it's on YouTube. Check it out and get behind the funding of the sequels now that they're being produced. Check them out over at Indiegogo, because I can't. And then of course, gotta get a picture in front of the house at the end of the night. That was last night on my way home. Of course, I got attacked, as you all saw on Open Mic Night, or on the wrap up of Wrestle Dream. My goodness, yes, go back and check the archives across the multiverse of media. Great interview with Braden, and JJ's review of it is also on the archives of Renegades Reviews, which, by the way, I want to give JJ a quick plug since we're talking about the movies. JJ is actually beginning his month of covering Stephen King, so check that out over on the Cutscene Studios. And of course, October 1st, yesterday, Carrie was first up, and that's now available on demand over at the Casa D-Teen Studio. So check that out as you go along in your day. All right, so Saturday, we did our thing. Sunday, the first thing I had to do Sunday, for the record, because I had talked to him all day Saturday, and he and I have been acquainted for many years. I met his wife Saturday during the course of the day, Tyler Mane, who played Michael in the Rob Zombie interpretations, of course, played Sabretooth in the X-Men movies that were released by Fox in the 2000s. Of course, Patrick Stewart at the helm as Professor X, Famke Jensen, Rebecca Romijn, everybody in that, Halle Berry, all the great, Hugh Jackman. I can never remember Ian's last name. Ian McKellen. God, I can never remember his last name until I had to force that on myself. Anyway, so Tyler was there, and I had known him for a few years because he and his wife, I believe they were married at the time. I don't know if he had met her at that point. Yeah, I think he did though. They lived up here in Santa Clarita. They worked out at the gym that I did go to a gym for a long time. My brother also worked out at that gym. Ray Park was in the X-Men. Thank you. Appreciate that. So yes, thank you for reminding me. I'm being on my total course over. Anyway, hope he doesn't call me. God, it'll suck. Burn up the feed. Anyway, but I had told my brother that Tyler was there, and he give me 1 second, guys. Let's see if I can do this without going off air here. On the air, we'll call later. Yes, I'm using my phone today. It's been a bad tech day, so sorry. That's why I'm using the phone today. Send. All right, thank you. All right, now, anywho, so I told my brother that Tyler was there, and he had known Tyler more than I did because of using the gym much more than I did. So I made it a point to make sure I had cash because Tyler was taking cash only at his table, and I went and saw Tyler. The other lady in the pair of pictures here, I'm going to say her name so badly, so pardon me, Riaz. I'm going to say it bad. Just give me a second here. Get it right here. I want to say it right. I am trying to find the pronunciation, so bear with me here. Cast. Oh hell, where is the damn? Now I know she was in this movie because we talked about it. Rhianne Reese. Thank you. God, it's kind of bugged the crap out of me. I knew how to spell. I said no. I want to make sure I said it right. She was such a sweet lady. She was taking cash only as well, but in the process of getting down to Saturday, the bus broke down twice between North Hollywood and Pasadena. It was awful. So I wasn't able to get out any more cash I already had with me. I purposely pulled 30 from the house to give to Tyler for the photo with him, that I can make sure I got FaceTime with him and got to talk to him. But I wasn't able to give Brianne the money there she was asking for. So God bless the guy from the convention that was sitting with her. He gave me his personal PayPal. God bless the man. I was able to PayPal him and get the picture with Rianne, and then she signed this for me. It's probably my favorite. It's one of my favorite scenes in the 2018. Jeff, help me, happy Halloween, from Dana. She was one of the podcasters in the few opening scenes, and her and I made a discovery during the course of our conversation. So she was the first on-screen kill. Her and her podcasting partner, Aaron, the character's name, were the first on-screen kills by Michael in the relaunched, revamped trilogy. There was no stabbing, and Michael wasn't wearing his mask. So Michael Myers killed her character and her partner's character without actually being Michael or doing Michael things. It was a very odd kill. And we went into in-depth conversation about that. It was funnier than hell. So, and yes, Tyler's awesome. I have seen that picture today. Kat, good to see you. It's one of those things, Walter. It's just movie magic. I escaped because I was lucky. So after meeting Tyler, after going in and finally being able to get the picture with Rianne, I started making my rounds of doing the professional photos again. And in the process of reacquainting with PJ Souls, yes, that's her shirt. It's totally her shirt. I was walking around the convention hall and I came across this man. I thought he looked familiar, and I was trying to ping pegging in my brain, like, where do I see this guy? He's got a VIP on, so he's got to be somebody important. And I see him sign an autograph, and it's Malik Akkad. It's Malik Akkad, the son of Mustafa Akkad, who kept this franchise going. Both he and his father have kept this franchise alive for 45 years. Mustafa, of course, passed away tragically in a terrorist attack in their home area years ago. It was so weird to run into him. So he and I taking a selfie, or we had somebody take a picture away from this backdrop, and I went up when I took the picture with PJ. I went, okay, we have a professional backdrop. Looks like the Myers house. So I grabbed Mr. Akkad and said, come here for a second. And we took a picture in front of the house. I thought that was so cool. So it was a true joy to meet Malik Akkad and see everybody just gather around him and thank him for allowing the franchise to survive as long as it had. I mean, 45 years this year. It's crazy that it has endured so long. And in addition to the Akkad family, a big reason why it has survived is because of the original team. And there's Mr. Akkad there, along with Nick Castle on the left. On the left of both pictures, actually, the original shape, and John Carpenter. As we were leaving Saturday, I heard that John had been announced. He was going to be part of a panel at the end of the day, Sunday. And I'm just walking around Sunday, and John just walks into the convention hall, goes over to Nick's table and sits down and starts bullshitting with Nick Castle, because they've been friends since college. They met when they were in college. And he caused this scene, and I was more mortified about it then than I am now, looking back, I suppose. But in the moment, it was just like they swarmed around that table. You could see in the one picture, you can't even freaking, I couldn't even, there wasn't even a clear shot of Nick because there's so many people around. And you can see in the other picture, there's security around John because it was just bananas. And yes, he was part of the panel, but it was just so crazy. And yes, he ended up being on the panel there. There's Nick Castle and Nancy Loomis and Tommy Lee Wallace and PJ Souls was up there, and it was really cool. I know John's going to be part of the convention in New York that Walter was going to. We talked about that over the weekend. And G, I tend to agree with the comment that I also don't think that the world is done with Michael Myers yet, but I'm also the firm belief that that we're going to see the Halloween series evolve into an anthology as John and Deborah Hill had always wanted. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. But again, it was just such a gratifying weekend. And I mean, the silly laugh on my face, I think, tells the entire story of how I felt all weekend. So again, thank you to everybody involved. Just so freaking cool. It really was a wonderful weekend of that part of it, as far as the non-wrestling side of things. Now, just the wrestling. 2 stellar presentations by NXT and by AEW over the course of the last 2 days. NXT, of course, presented No Mercy, and we had new champions crowned. We had Becky Lynch retain her title in a unbelievable Extreme Rules match with Tiffany Stratton. We'll be seeing Ilya Dragunov and Trick Williams now carrying the championships forward as the NXT champion and the North American champion. So very happy for those guys. Ilya Dragunov has hopefully made Noah Foster a believer in NXT, in this NXT, damn it, JD's NXT. So, Jay, I said when I saw Halloween Ends, and if you haven't seen Halloween Ends, I'm not going to be that guy, but watch it. The way they took him out, it has to be done with Michael for a long while. If they do ever bring him back, it has to be after a significant amount of time. But I do like that Halloween Ends can and very well should be the end. Halloween Ends, it's the final entry. When Jamie Lee Curtis received her Oscar, it was called the final entry after 45 years. So Hopefully you're right, Jed. But yeah, Becky Lynch and Tiffany Stratton just stepped up in that main event. I was so proud of both of them as a fan. It was very cool to see. And as far as Wrestle Dream, let me just say first, can we talk about this match for a minute? Because JJ and I talked about it, I think either on air or right as we got off the air. If ever we have friends that ask about getting into the wrestling industry again, I'm going to tell them, watch this match, watch it early, watch it often, watch it over and over again. Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. put on a master in class. It was just ridiculous how good this match was. I watched it at Republic Lucha, the home of the Lucha Brothers in Pasadena, and the entire room was buzzing. The entire crowd in Seattle was buzzing. It was just chef's kiss. It really was. And Matt makes a great point. Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes and Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. are both 5-star matches. At least I'm not big on the star ratings, and apparently there's Christian Cage. By the way, nice job, Christian. That was good shit. Anyway, if you know, you know. Are both match of the year candidates. Easy, without a doubt. And Tiffany Stratton's impressed a lot of people in the last 3 months, JJ, including yourself, including myself. That match was absolutely crazy. And then we get to the TNT Championship match, and Christian Cage retains thanks to Nick Wayne. And the lights go out. Owen Sting comes in to try to help out Darby, and we do indeed think we know him. And Adam Copeland is now all elite, and my God, it was so, not to coin a phrase, but it was awesome to see Adam that energized, and he was energized at the scrum, and he's going to be on Dynamite this week for the anniversary show, and he's going to be part of the company going forward. Just, so good. And yes, I am so, and yeah, when Big Dave up north gives somebody praise, he doesn't do it very easily unless you happen to be a resident of Rancho Cucamonga, California, and kiss his ass. But even Meltzer praised Tiffany, so there you go, for what it's worth, which isn't much, but it's awesome. And Walter, I was like the one that picked Dragunov. I told y'all Wrestling Dream. I was one. Yeah, Walter did the clean sweep last night at Wrestle Dream predictions wise, so that was awesome. Although again, it's a good point. Is it too predictable? But I am looking forward to what we're going to see out of AEW this coming Wednesday. I hit the wrong freaking button, even though I hit what I hit to get that. Can we please work, computer? Thank you. Now, we are doing a watch along of this week's show because no one wants to do it, and I'm here for it. Why not? I'm not doing anything this week. I'm going to be on the Greg Cherry show if I'm home, but we will be going live. Unless JJ and Noah tell me differently, quarter of the hour leading into Dynamite, so we can kind of get a little pre-show going. But yes, we are covering Dynamite this week because we're crazy people. But yeah, just a amazing weekend, and I said it in my tweet or Twix post, whatever. I guess we'll call it my post on Twix now. It was everything I needed it to be. The weekend was everything I hoped and more, everything I expected and more. The reasons that they were, it looked like it was going to be bad or complicated turned out to be valid reasons why. So I wasn't mad at it. It was one of those, any other time in my life, I'd be waiting for the other shoe to fall and like waiting for the shit to hit the fan. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm happy. And I found out during the course of the week that because of the way I was able to rearrange my schedule at the House of Mouse and the ability to purchase a ticket to fly, which God help me, I haven't flown in a while, so we'll see how that goes. I will be 2 weeks from Saturday in Vegas to see Paradise Kitty for Jenna's birthday celebration at Vamped the home of Count Danny, behind the man behind Count's Customs. So yes, we will be. I will not be there for anything we do on Friday the 13th, but I'll have a full report open mic night on October 14th. So very excited to get to Vegas to see the kiddies, celebrate Jenna's birthday, and apparently I'm doing the merch because that's what I do. It's crazy. Am I Twixing? I am on all the Twix. I'm here for it. JJ, I really am. I am all about the Twix. I'm here for whatever Twitter wants me to do, whatever the Muskie man deems necessary. That's what I will say. Just I'm here for it. Left Twix, right Twix, middle Twix. It's all good. I can be the middle Twix. Yeah, I can be middle Twix. I can be left Twix and right Twix, or I can be all the Twix. It's all good. Either way, I'm good. So anyway, give us some plugs. Let's do the plug thing. Let's get the hell out of here. Let's call it a night. Time for Raw soon, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Fair cap and pop for that one. Anyway, so we're on today, of course. As I said, JJ is starting his month of Stephen King coverage. So please go to Kansas City Studios, the Renegades Reviews section. So check that out. And we started with Carrie yesterday. That's now in the archives on demand. Check it out. Tomorrow will be a doubleheader for yours truly. I will be part of the Nerdy Q review coming up at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific tomorrow. Yes, on a special night, Tuesday night, over at nerdyq.com, because Sunday was WrestleDream. We were a little busy Sunday with the coverage across the multiverse between Aaron's recap and our stuff. So, there is a super chat, by the way, so I'll go ahead and get that. Let me take the thing down right now. And $2 super chat from our buddy Kat. Come on, there it goes. Good Lord Almighty. Thank you, Kat. And hashtag thank you, Trish. And I'd like to thank people at Trish's media department for allowing me the ability to Photoshop the shit out of that, because it worked out perfectly as evidenced. Anyway, so yes, the Nerdy Q review tomorrow will be. Where did it go? Oh, I think I goofed. Yeah, that needs to be down here where I put it. Thank you. And let's let that go. Thank you very much. So Nerdy Q review again tomorrow night, Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern. And then at 9 o'clock, as opposed to 7 o'clock, we will have Stat Boy Sports Bar. We will give an update on who all is going to be in there throughout the course of tonight and tomorrow, probably. Working on that production-wise as we speak. Wednesday, of course, the Greg Cherry Show, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific. The lead-in to the 4th anniversary of AEW. I can't believe it's a thing. On October 4th. So Wednesday the 4th anniversary. Thursday, we will have on nerdyq.com our predictions for Fastlane, which, of course, is this weekend. The predictions will be at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific on Thursday, October 5th. Friday, we will kick off the morning. Roughly 10 a.m. Pacific, if not a little bit later, hope maybe a little bit earlier, with the dads, not always on wrestling, and our ranking of the best managers in wrestling history. That is coming up Friday morning. Friday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, will be a Simple Man brand and McCutcheon Studios presenting Fastlane predictions on Simply Predicting. That'll be Friday night, and of course, Saturday is Fastlane itself, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific, with the pre-show, if you will, on the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, and then open mic night, of course, to finish out our Saturday. I will be at Disney pretty much the entirety of Friday and Saturday doing the work thing, so I will not be a part of most of the Fastlane stuff, but I'll be part of open mic night with any luck. We'll see how it goes. Thank you all for watching this episode of the Jeff Meacham Show, part Meacham Musings, part Talk Wrestling. Great stuff coming up all week, as you saw across the Multiverse of Media. So thank you all very, very much for watching today's episode. If you liked today's stream, I am Jeff Meacham. This has been the Jeff Meacham Show. If you didn't like this show, my name is Dave Meltzer, and this has been the Wrestling Observer Live. We will see you next time right here across the Multiverse of Media.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.